Hey everyone, in this one I'm going to be making another video about Toddle, introducing bubblers to Toddle, which is a new but very powerful no-code front-end web app builder, which I believe is going to be a major player in the future. Check it out for free at Toddle.dev. So in this one we're going to be carrying on from the last one where we kind of mimicked option sets using an array. So basically under our data tab we created a variable which is an array, and it looks like this. So we have each object is an option in the option sets: dashboard, leads, contacts. What we didn't do was handle the icons. So this is about how we can use dynamic icons in Toddle. Okay, now you might have seen one or two videos from Toddle guys where they're using SVGs, and that's fine, but this one is more about how we can use them dynamically to create a navbar type thing here. Okay, and when I'm developing in Bubble I like to use Iconify. Now, and the reason being is that Iconify's like got dozens and dozens of different icon sets, and each one can have like 12,000, 11,000, 7,500. So there's just limitless number of icons that you can have. You're not limited by one icon set or whatever. So it just is a great library to tap into. Now in Bubble, I have an element which is a plugin, and then what I do, I give it the name of the icon. So let's say in here, let's say I'm going to go for this icon set, and I'm just going to pick this one, and if we look down here it gives us a name, and because of the way that the plugin is built I can simply just use that name. So what happens in Bubble is on the option set I am simply have an attribute called icon, and it's just the name of the icon that I'm pulling from Iconify. Okay, we don't have a plugin in Toddle, so we have to do it ourselves, but fortunately Toddle very closely aligns with web standards. It doesn't try and abstract everything out for you, so therefore we can take advantage of that situation here. So what we need to do then is we want icons for dashboard, leads, contact, business, products. So what we can do then is in our elements I'm going to drop inside of our repeating list item, I'm going to drop a image. Okay, and Toddle gives us like a sample image there. I just want to pop it above the, there we go. And what I can do then is I can then set the image source in the attributes tab. Okay, so we've got the source there, and so what I can do then is simply put the name of the image in there that I want. Now obviously we want that to be dynamic. We want it to get pulled from our option set or our option array, okay, which is here at the moment the icon's empty. So what we can do in Iconify is we can pull it here. We can go HTML, and then we can go CSS, and then under content :URL we then get the URL that points directly to that image as an SVG. So if we copy that in here, and I'm going to edit our array there. So which one was this? This is address book. So let's put this under contacts in there, and what we'll do then is we'll search for something that's going to be for our dashboard. So let's go for chart. Let's pick that one. Okay, and then we can do exactly the same thing, just drag the path to the image, and that's going to be, we'll go full screen with this, and where's our dashboard? So we can pop that in there, and then let's do one more for leads, which usually we can use under plug or something like that. So let's go with that one. Okay, and we can do the same thing here, just copy out the path. Okay, and then we can, under leads, under icon, we can just paste that in, and we're done. Okay, so obviously at the minute we haven't told it where to pick that up from. So under our image, under attributes and the source attribute src, okay, we can then pick up the formula, and then where we want to pick it up from is the items icon, and right away we get our icons listed in there. And obviously we want to size these a little bit, so let's say we want to do 32 by 32. Okay, and we're good, really. That was easy, wasn't it? Okay, it wasn't a big deal. Okay, however, the image quality isn't great, and also we're sort of going to struggle to color these in, have them the color that we want without setting custom CSS and all of that kind of stuff, and setting more attributes to be able to do it. We want a higher quality, a much higher quality image, and we want to be able to easily style them. We want to be easily able to color them. Now there may be a way that you can do it with images. I haven't found a way without starting to set custom CSS. Okay, so what can we do? Okay, and luckily there is an alternative way to do it. Not that there's anything specifically wrong with that, it's just that there's a better way to do it. Okay, so what we can do, so I'm going to get rid of this image here, the image tag, and see what else we can do. Okay, so can we import the SVG tag directly? So in Toddle there isn't an SVG, there's only an image, which is usually good enough anyway. Okay, but what we can do is if we go back to Iconify and let's go and have a look at the first one, which for our dashboard we chose chart icon. So we'll pick let's say this one. I think it's the same one, and the moment we've got HTML and CSS selected, so rather than that, let's go to SVG and SVG there, and then what we can do is then just copy this to the clipboard, and in Toddle we'll just click on our repeater and we will paste that in, and let's drag it above the label. Okay, and we've got the SVG and we've got a path there. So now what we can do in here is we change the sizes 32 by 32. So yeah, that's the size that we want it. That just makes sure that we're getting the best quality. So let's just copy that again, and we will delete it, paste it in again. Okay, and this is the size that we've got, so let's change the size in here. Okay, and right, okay, so we've got our image in there. That's our basic thing under attributes, and where the actual information for the SVG is in the path. So we've got fill and we've got D. Okay, so if we have a look at the original link that we put in there, we've got an attribute called fill, which is set to current color, and then we've got D, which is all of this malarkey here, and essentially that's the encoding of the SVG. That's the image itself, the encoded image. Okay, so you can imagine that's the image itself. So now we know that we can get dynamic with it, and the actual fill of the current color, what that's going to do is to tell the SVG to take on the color of its immediate container. So we can work with that now. So what we can do then is, where we've got this D and this path, that's obviously static, that's why we've got it all through every single one. So what we can do then is to say, well, that's fair enough, but let's say that we just take this, just the D attribute information, which is the image itself, pop it in here, and in our main options, let's edit those, and rather than it look at the path, let's actually make it the value of the D data, of the D attribute. So we don't have any for these just yet, we'll fill those in a sec. So let's just get rid of these. Okay, and so if we look now, we'll have that there, but if we go to our D attribute, we can set it dynamically. Okay, so we can click there, and we can then pull it from the items icon. Okay, so what's happening there is that we only get the one that we've set so far. Okay, now in terms of the color, what we can do then is its immediate parent is the li. So if we set the color in our styles on the li, so at the minute it's set to pink, so let's set it to like let's scroll down here, let's set it to like blue. We can see that it changes the icon. Just let me drag that up there so it's above the label. That's it. So we can set the color by setting the text color of its parent, and that is generated, as I said, on the path through this current color attribute, which is pulled in automatically for us. Okay, so what we can do now with that set is we can go back here and we can then say, right, so our next one we want to do is to do with leads, which was like a plug, wasn't it? So let's use that one. And what we can do now with SVG and SVG selected, we don't need any of this. We can just copy find the attribute and just copy the contents all the way to the end, and we can copy that. And if we go back into data and we go to main options, and what we can do there is, let's scroll down under leads, we can paste that in. Okay, and let's just do one more while we're here. Let's do I think it was under address book. Let's do that one. And again, just the D that we need. We don't need everything, so we can just copy that and we can then paste that in there. Okay, and voila, we now have our dynamic images, which are directly SVG files, and we can change the color now, and we can set those dynamically. Now, because we can set the color, we can then style the color to how you want. So for example, if you had like a dark theme and a light theme, you can now change that. You can now toggle that between the two. So let's do that just as a little bit of a demonstration. So what I'll do is I will come into here and I will add a button. Okay, let's just drag that to the top there. Where has it popped? There, we need it under the div. No, we need it under, that's it. And let's just name this as theme. Just like with the paragraph, by the way, when you drop a button you get like the overall button and then you get like the label to it. Okay, so if we go to our button, then let's go to events and we'll go to the click event to do something. What we'll do before we do that, we need to set up a variable for ourselves. So we'll go to data and then variables, add a new one, and we will call this we'll just call it is dark theme. Okay, and we'll set the initial value of it to true. Okay, and then what we will do then is, when they click it, we need to set it, we basically need to reverse it. So if it's true, we need to make it false. If it's false, we need to make it true. In bubble, if it's yes, it'd be no. If it's no, it'd be yes. Okay, so the way we can do that is to set the variable is dark theme, and we need to set up a formula and just get rid of that. And the way we can do that is we can pick the value as it is, add a formula, and we can say not. Okay, and that will turn it round. So at the minute this value is true, by the time it runs through the not, it will become false. If it was false, then it would become true. Okay, so it just reverses it for us automatically. Okay, so when you click that, that's what will essentially happen, like a toggle type thing. So if I just click it in run mode and then go back into our formula, it's then changed. So dark theme is false, so we turn it round, it's now going to be true. Okay, Great. So what we want to do then is to theme the colour based on whether it's a dark theme or a light theme. So the way to do that, and we kind of elaborated on this in the last video that I did, which is go back to elements and go back to, remember that the colour of the SVG is, if we look on that, is set to current colour, which means it's relying on its immediate parent's container's colour. So we need to go to the li. So what we'll do then is, so we need to set it on here, but to make it dynamic we've got to set up different classes. So we go to attributes, add a class, and what we'll do is we'll call one to be light theme. And when is that going to get triggered? It's going to get triggered when the dark theme variable is false. So let's pick that one up. So we can say is dark theme, and then we need to then again go to our not character expression. So what we can say there is at the minute the dark theme is false, reverse it so it's true. So the light theme is going to be true if the dark theme variable is false. Okay, right, so the next one is we're going to add one called dark theme. By the way, I'm loving this. I'm loving the way that this works. So we say is dark theme, and that's all we need to say there. If it's false, the output is false. If it's true, it's true. Okay, so we've got our theme set up there. So what we can do then in styling is add a style, and then we can say the class of light theme, what's the color going to be if it's a light theme. So let's say it's going to be color, let's see, if it's a light theme, let's say it's going to be like a really light blue, like that. And because light theme is true, it's automatically set it for us there. Okay, so we go back to here, and we add another style. I'm going to pick up the dark theme class. Okay, scroll down, and then the text color is, if it's the dark theme, we'll make it like a really dark blue, like that. So if we now test that out, we should, yeah, there we go, we should see it change. So we can do so much dynamically, as you can see. So yeah, so I hope that was useful for you anyway, and that's kind of like how we can finish off doing our nav bar type option sets and stuff. Obviously there's lots of effects we can do with hovers, but I hope that gives you a good idea of how we can use Iconify, dynamic images, all of that type of thing with Toddle. All right, thanks for watching, thanks for sticking with me. I'll probably make some more in these series, but I'll also be doing things on other topics as well. Thanks for sticking with me. Please subscribe if you like this video, please like it if you like this video, and hopefully there'll be a lot more soon. So take care, have a great day, and take it easy.